Form 104-9 is a notepad form on page 414. This assignment can be really fun, but it's also a little exasperating, and it helps to think about the overall purpose before attempting the step. You will be preparing 4 full pages that will each look like a quarter of the sample on page 414. The print routine is what will reduce those 4 pages to just 1. You may need to make a few adjustments along the way to make your copy match the sample on page 414. I've inserted some tips to accomplish that in the steps that we're going to illustrate here. First, I suggest you study Lesson 104 in your word processing manual. Now, in our document, our blank page, we're going to press Enter 2 times and insert a picture of an office desk or a picture related to an office notepad. So we go to Insert, Clip Art. I'm going to type Office. Try to pick something relevant to your own style because you're going to be using your own name here instead of Amber or Bristol. You're going to design your own office notepad. Okay, I'm going to select this image, and when it appears on the page, it is very, very large. You can drag and size the picture so that it looks similar to the illustration. I'm going to use the size feature that I only showed you once before, so we're going to do it that way this time because we want the graphic to be approximately 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, what we'll do is change the height. We'll use the arrow so that we can see it scaling down to 2.5 inches tall. Want to position it near the top left corner of the page, even into the margin. Now our next step 3 is to create a text box about the size and position as the one in the illustration to hold the words "From the desk of Amber Bristol," only use your name instead of Amber Bristol. Alright, we're on the Insert tab already. We're going to insert a text box and we're going to choose Draw Text Box. We're going to remove the line around the text box and change the fill to none. To do that, we're going to right-click, click Format Text Box, remove the line color by changing the style to no color, and remove the fill in the same way. I did them backwards, but that is the order they are in the box here. Click OK. Then in the text box, change to Calibri. It's already Calibri here, but we're going to go to size 36 and bold, center, and type "From the desk of," and click Enter, your own name. Change the color to go with the graphic you have chosen. Okay, we're ready for step 6. Create a text box about the size and same position as the one in the illustration to hold the checkbox list at the bottom of the notepad. We're going to move to the bottom of the page, insert a text box. We're going to draw it again. We're going to remove the line around the text and change the fill to none. Format the text box, line, no color, fill, color, no color, and OK. Now we're going to insert a checkbox using Wingding's italic 28 point. Here's checkbox. Once we've selected our font Wingdings, that is one of the options there. I'm going to space 2 times. I'm going to change to Arial italic 18 point. And type urgent. Repeat Steps 8 and 9 for the remaining lines in the checkbox list, adding due today and follow up. I'm going to copy the checkbox symbol onto the next two lines instead of changing my font back to Wingdings. So I select it, I Control C, then move my insertion point to the end of the line, hit Enter, and hit Control V or copy. The fonts and sizes jump around quite a bit here, so you have to keep correcting things as you go. But try to line up your boxes and your text. Okay, copying it in changes you back to Wingdings anyway, so you need to switch to Arial 18, and when you do that, for some reason mine has switched back to Wingdings again, so we're going back here to Arial again, space, space, and follow up, and once again the font has switched back to 28. If you switch it enough times, it will stay as it did for me just here. Okay, adjust the location of that text box, and then we are going to move on to complete the following steps. And at this point, we should display formatting marks to complete the remaining steps. Maybe that would have helped, switching back and forth on the fonts. I don't know. Okay, we're going to change to a whole page view. Okay, this works a little differently for me each time I do it, but we can make it work one way or another. Look at step 10 and notice that it's recommended that you turn on Show Hide or Display Formatting Marks to complete this step and the remaining steps. What I want to do is be sure that all objects are anchored to the first blank line at the top of the page. That means where the insertion point is flashing right in front of the paragraph marker. So click on each object. You'll see the anchor mark for this one is associated with that first line on the page, so that's okay. If it's not, you can drag and drop that anchor there. The text box here has an anchor. It will seem like it's the same one, but the anchor is showing for the object that is selected is anchored to that first line. And even our text box at the bottom of the page has an anchor associated with the first line. So with that step completed, we are now in a whole page view. We're going to select and copy the entire document. I am going to use Control A to do that. Otherwise, you can use the select commands here at the top of the page, select all, and then Control C for copy. Now, moving to the end of the document means click in front of that formatting mark there for a paragraph. That is the end of the actual text in the document. And we're going to insert 3 manual page breaks. Don't panic when you see the page disappear, if that's what happens. Control Enter will insert a manual page break. So 1, 2, 3. Now, actually, I expected, and one time I did this page stayed on top, but it doesn't really matter. We can go back here to the top, click in front of the page break command, and paste or Control V to insert our page that we have copied. Go to the next one, click in front of the page break, Control V, and in front of the next, Control V. Now we have 4 pages exactly the same. If we view 2 pages, I think we're going to see how this is going to look. The next step is to use the print option to print 4 pages per sheet on an 8.5 by 11-inch paper. Print, choose the first option so that we can choose under Zoom pages per sheet, or just click OK. Actually cancel the print, but you're going to save the document. Return to GDP, but GDP will not score this document. You can still upload it, but it will not be scored, so don't let that throw you.